small town in Italy, there lived a baker. He was highly skilled and naturally excellent with his fingers, and his customers loved him for his talent. Even though he was a god in the kitchen, he was still only a human, and one day he fell in love with a married woman. Of course, he understood the possible consequences of such an affair. He just couldn't resist, she was that beautiful. And one day, in order to demonstrate to her his affection, he made his pasta shaped exactly like that woman's belly button and gave it to her as a gift. Well, she brought it home, cooked it, and served it for dinner. The resemblance was so perfect that her husband has recognized his wife's belly button on his dinner plate. Ooh, too bad for a baker, but really good for us. If it wasn't for that incident, there may never would be the tortellini. And the sauce that we're going to make today, I will serve with tortellini, but you can serve it with absolutely any pasta. And I'm going to show you a very simple recipe just to demonstrate how little it takes to make something very delicious. And we will make enough to serve 4 people. Let's turn the heat under our saucepan on to medium low, and add 2 tablespoons of butter. Let's chop an onion. We will only need 3 tablespoons. We will need also about 2 tablespoons of chopped prosciutto. Let's add onions and prosciutto to the butter and cook it for about 8 or 10 minutes. We don't want for our onions to brown. If they're browning, the temperature is too high. Reduce the temperature. The onions been cooking for about 8 minutes. Let's put our pasta into the boiling water and make sure that your water is well salted, so that the pasta tastes good even without the sauce. Now we will add 1 tablespoon of regular flour right into the onions and stir it well to make sure there are no clumps. And we'll cook like this for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes of cooking the onions, we will add 1.5 cups of milk. We will add a little bit first. Add a little bit first to avoid clumping. Stir very well and make sure that your milk is at room temperature. Cook the sauce at a very light simmer. You don't want to boil it. It will take about 8 to 10 minutes for the sauce to get thick. If it's too watery, cook a little bit longer. But don't forget to add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. When the sauce is ready, turn the heat off and add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of a freshly ground nutmeg. Do not skip this part. Nutmeg is a very important ingredient in this recipe. Stir it a little bit and the sauce is ready. Let's drain the pasta. Prepare a plate. Add some sauce to the pasta and dump it into the bowl. secret to a successful sauce is to follow one simple rule. It should resemble a male movie star. It has to be dark, rich and thick. Our sauce was intentionally made light in color, but it is still very rich and pretty thick. If you came out too thick, you can always dilute it with a little bit of milk. And one last final touch. Sprinkle some chopped parsley for visual effect. If you are using a regular pasta, a bowl like this will cost you about $2. So to feed 4 people will cost you about 8. Cooking and eating at home is certainly a way to go. And with the money you save, you can treat yourself to a bottle of good wine and you still will have money left for some dessert.